What is going on, guys? Cake and Scott here. Just kind of winding down at the end of the day. I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about where I am with what I'm trying to accomplish with my eBay/Amazon business. First off, since I've been back to Texas, I haven't technically had a real job. I've been doing DoorDash and I've been doing eBay and Amazon to pay all my bills. Few of my sales are local pickup, Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, main source of income is going to be DoorDash at the moment. So I use that so I don't have to pay any bills with eBay and Amazon, so I can invest fully what those produce. And it's actually been going pretty good. When I got back from Michigan, I had about $2,000, a little bit over $2,000 worth of what was listed on eBay and Amazon, probably combined. I don't know the exact number. I probably should have kept track of that kind of stuff for the, these kind of purposes, but let's say around $2,000 to $3,000 between the two platforms. And coming back to Texas, I had to spend that money not only to get back, but I also had to spend that to get the apartment that I'm in right now. I had to get it to pay for gas and food and all kinds of stuff until I had somewhat of an income again. And that's where DoorDash and other at-home kind of remedy situation things that you could do. And yeah, it's actually been pretty decent. I have my bills set low enough, or not set. I have my bills, I've worked it to where I have them low enough that I don't really need much of an income to get by. So I only need $1,500 a month to get by. So that's really pretty accomplishable with DoorDash or even any other kind of like part-time job. But I do prefer DoorDash just because I can work around eBay's schedule. Like, yes, DoorDash is like my main source of income at the moment, but that's only for my bills. I use that just to pay my bills, and then I'm actually using it to start putting aside money into savings so I can either use it for something that a large purchase in the future, or just end up investing it in my business again, which isn't a bad idea either. But yeah, I kind of just now started putting money into my savings with DoorDash because it's not really like a big thing. It's not, you're not going to get rich doing it. But I would highly recommend it if you have free time and a vehicle that's actually reliable and decent on gas. I would say it's actually pretty easy money. Like, you're sitting on your butt. Some days I'll work like 3 or 4 hours and I'll make like $60-70. So it's not too bad actually. Some days I end up working all day. But yeah, last video I was talking about how I wanted to eventually get a storage unit. I think I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit just because I don't know. I'm still working out the kinks of getting this all off the ground and everything. And I feel like I've done this. I feel like this is the third time I'm having to do this because I did it once in Michigan and then I used basically all of the proceeds to pay for rent. And then I did it again. I built my inventory up to about 5-6 between eBay and Amazon, and then I dumped it all down the trash again to move from Michigan to Texas, and now I've got it back up to where I've got about 5,000 to 6,000 in inventory and active listings on eBay and all that. So we're starting to see sales. We're starting to see consistent listings going up every day. I'm starting to get rid of older things. I'm starting to do auctions and stuff like that. So it's not like I don't know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for over 2 years now on eBay, and Amazon's been just probably, I think about a year is what I've been doing Amazon for. I wish I would have started Amazon earlier, and I still don't have this professional selling account just because I haven't sold. There's been 1 month where I've sold over 40 items, so I want to wait until I'm consistently selling over 40 items before I upgrade my store on Amazon. But yeah, right now I'm mainly sitting on a majority toys, and I've been buying tons and tons of video games, and I plan on buying more video games. It's just I know it's going to sound dumb, but I mean, I know video games really well just because I've spent so much time playing with video games. So, like, I can look at something and I can even take it apart and add value into something that somebody else would deem broken or something like that. And, you know, you can even sell them broken if you get them cheap enough, and I do that as well. Uh, so, my plan for eBay is kind of just keep going at it as hard as I can. And, you know, I want to eventually start working less and weeding in those bills, my own personal bills. I want to do it one at a time, which, who did I hear say that? I watch a lot of resellers on YouTube, so I get them kind of mixed up. But yeah, I've only met one in person, Bonafide Hustler. So shout out to him. He's actually a pretty cool dude. But yeah, I watch a lot of people, so I forget who's who whenever I'm trying to reference them in conversation. And I lost my train of thought. Jesus. Well, regardless, I'm just building up my business, trying to get it to where I can eventually start paying for my own personal things. Right now, I'm just trying to assess where I am at financially, and I've got that figured out to where everything for this year, I'm shy about $150 for making back all my money. So I'm still sitting on about $5,000 worth of inventory, and I'm shy about 150 to get to where I break even, and I'm, you know, not in profit, but I broke even, and now everything beyond that point, unless I reinvest more, is profit. So that's not too bad. And I painstakingly have to admit that I did use credit cards to buy a lot of inventory, and I made sure that those were paid on time, and I did end up having to pay a little bit of interest. I paid $3 in interest last month because I didn't quite have enough to pay it, but I figured that was worth it with the amount of money that I made. And it was. So to get it off the ground, I had to do that, and I attempted to get a PayPal working capital loan, but that didn't work for me. I guess because the gap in consistency on my eBay account, and they don't get to see my Amazon account, they only see PayPal. So yeah, the gap in consistency has to be the reason, because I went from very consistent sales, very consistent listings, to almost off the face of earth. I went pretty much strictly Amazon for about a month. I was just investing in things for Amazon, and I wasn't being able to buy anything eBay because I was pretty much living out of my car. I went from having a technically four bedroom house to having a car, which is a two-door sedan, which is where I had to store all of my inventory and personal belongings, which was not an easy feat. In fact, it made shipping out items very, very difficult. And yeah, I still stuck with it, though. I did what I could. Now I'm in a two-bedroom apartment, and I'm running out of room again, so I need to buy some shelving units and get this stuff a little bit more organized, because I know it feels like there's not enough space, but I know if I had things stacked on a shelf, there would be seemingly more room, at least. Because I know there's, let me turn the camera, that corner over there in the room, there's kind of a blank canvas for where I could put a shelf and then store inventory. It won't be the prettiest room in the house, but it'll definitely serve a purpose. And I was watching Resells earlier, and I've been listening to his podcast all freaking day. Like, my ears kind of hurt from wearing my AirPods all day. Because while I'm doing DoorDash, I usually have my AirPods in, and I'm sitting there just listening to podcasts or music or something like that to kind of like liven up my day a bit. And yeah, he said something about Project Pat and how people were kind of hating on the fact that his house is just covered in his own inventory. And he's like, you know, that's his lifestyle. That's what he wants to invest his money elsewhere. It doesn't matter where your items are stored. It's where your money goes at the end of the day. And if he's okay with his inventory laying all around his house, if his wife isn't complaining his freaking ear off, then yeah, that's his prerogative. Why are you, you know, you should be giving the dude a high five instead of pointing out, you know, his downfalls, which I wouldn't even consider that a downfall. I mean, the dude is doing way better than I am, and I highly appreciate the kind of content that he's going to be soon producing. I watched his first video and I gave him a subscribe, so I'm looking forward to his videos. He looks like a pretty cool dude. And then resells, we all know, is pretty great. Yeah, I've been I started out with eBay, and it was an accident, honestly. I went from going to garage sales looking for video games because, of course, before eBay, I loved video games as well. And I started out just buying video games, and I was actually looking to sell them to GameStop for a trade-in value so that I could eventually buy myself a Nintendo Switch, which I now have thanks to eBay. Yeah, I was stacking up video games, used video games, and I was buying them for, you know, as low as $a quarter or less, and then giving them to GameStop for insane profits. You know, I'd spend $a quarter on a video game, and I'd take it to GameStop, and they'd give me $10. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then the thought occurred that I was giving these games to GameStop, and I'm making this much money off of them, and then they're going to turn around and potentially produce a profit. Like, some of them, it didn't make sense. Like, you know, I'd get $1 or so, or $2, and I was spending, like, you know, $a quarter. It's like, that's not bad. That's actually really good if you think about it now. But, you know, I was looking them up online and going, well, they're giving me $1.25, but, you know, this game sells pretty strong for like 10, 15, 20, depending on the game I was looking up at the time. So, you know, I looked into how to start my own eBay account. And I did a bunch of research. I did a bunch of just watching videos on YouTube. I was wanting to say video games. I don't know why. But yeah, I watched tons of videos on YouTube, and I just kind of dove straight into it. I got onto Facebook Marketplace, and I looked at video game listings. I don't know what the hell that is. There's a freaking toy underneath my bed that I think is going off. I hear it randomly in my room. I want to show you, but just know underneath my queen-size bed, there is roughly 40, 50 toys. So one of them is making noise and just going off randomly. And I don't know which one it is. I've dug around underneath there and I can't find which one's doing it because, of course, you know, when you're looking for it, it's not making the noise. It's when it's making the noise, it's making the noise. And I'm not looking when it's making the noise. But yeah, I went from videos to looking for more stuff to find and sell on eBay because I had no idea how to sell and flip things on eBay. But I knew that the way my brain works is I need to actually do something, get it out of the way, make those mistakes, and just, you know, do it. That's the only way you can really learn anything. And I am actually a pretty fast learner. I learn from myself the best. I feel like I am my best teacher. Like, I may take information from other people, but until I actually apply it, I feel like I haven't learned anything. It was the same in school and every other area in my life. Like, you know, I've taught myself, since this whole journey, I've taught myself countless skills that I otherwise would have not even looked into. Like, I taught myself how to solder, how to take apart small electronics, video games, shipping. That's a whole nother freaking... that's like a whole chapter itself of skills. Just learning not only what box goes where, but, you know, there's different regions amongst all shippings, and it's just a lot of information that you can't just watch as one video, or even, I would say not even 20, 30 videos, you wouldn't learn all about shipping. You're just going to have to start doing it and seeing what it is. Why? I think it's this one. think this might be the one. I'm not too sure. That was honestly, I think, a bad buy. I got it cheap, but as we know, just because it was cheap doesn't mean it's a good idea. I didn't pay a ton for it, but the price dropped. I figured, hey, you know, I'm getting it so cheap, it won't be such an issue. I guess we'll see if they go back up. Maybe She-Ra will get, maybe when they release another season, get a little bit more popular. It's not that one. It's still going off underneath there. What the hell, man? What is that? What is it? Alright, I'll ignore it for now. Whatever. I have a total brain fart. I had no idea where I left off. Jeez. Yeah, buying video games from garage sales, taking them to GameStop, inkling of an idea that took me from simply just being a consumer trying to get another product. I went from that mindset to the mindset of, you know, seeing that they're making a profit off of my profit potentially. Some of the buys that they were giving me, you know, they were spending. I really need to investigate that further. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it is, Jesus. It feels like, I don't know, since I noticed it, it doesn't more. I noticed it yesterday and the days prior, but today it just won't shut up. Oh my God! And remind me not to buy a bunch of toys that make noise, and then put them underneath my bed. Oh, because that one is wow, and it's distracting. Like I keep having to look over there, and then it comes in a conversation, which I'm talking to myself, so it just makes it worse. But yeah, going from the mindset of a consumer just buying a product and taking it to another place and making a little bit of money in hopes of buying another product just got me thinking about all of that and how everything works. And, you know, if they're selling it, well, why can't I sell it? And then, you know, thought crossed my mind of like, where can I sell it? eBay, of course. And even before all this, I had no idea that eBay was a place for third-party sellers, let alone Amazon. When I found that out, it was a total mind fart. But yeah, I thought, you know, eBay, you know, you buy something off eBay, you get it from eBay. I didn't put too much thought into actually where it comes from. So that was a whole nother learning journey itself. Just figuring all the ins and outs of the whole platform was just wow. And looking at it, it's like you live your life this way this whole time, and then someone just lifts up the veil and you're like, wow. It's just a whole nother world on the other side of this place. And I was just living it blind. But, yeah. It's crazy. I'm rambling. I'm going to let you go, guys. Kind of going to finish up my wine. And I've got a movie on. I don't know if you saw it earlier. It's Jim Carrey. Yes, Man. I think they just added it to Netflix. So I'm, like, going to watch that. Definitely. And, yeah, I do eBay every single day. I wake up at 6 a.m. That's the start of my day. I check all my stuff that's going on eBay. I'm not going to lie, it's not like a terribly busy thing, but, you know, I do stay as busy with whatever I possibly can. At the moment, I don't have any inventory to list. Everything that's on Amazon is more than likely also listed on eBay as well. The other day I bought a photo booth, and I went through my entire eBay store, overhauled it with all new pictures. So that took about 8 hours, just taking all the pictures. And I don't have a ton of listings. And I made sure that a lot of my listings have multiple quantities. So that makes it a lot easier as well. And then a lot of the things that I source are also multiple quantities as well. So like I know, I say multiple quantities. they're also replenishable. So like I find them very frequently, and I source those specific items because I know how much they sell for, how to ship them out, and like, you know, I know the market on video games and other things like that. Like certain electronics I look for, clothing. I do some clothing. I'm actually looking to get out of that, and then eventually I would like to open up a second store just for clothing and, you know, one-off items, and then leave this one to toys and video games and electronics and stuff like that. That's kind of what I want to do with this store anyway. And then Amazon's just the kind of catch-all. Whatever I can sell there, I will sell there. And I'm hoping to get ungated on those big brands, but for now it's just kind of a give and take relationship with Amazon. You know, I'll take what they'll give me. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you don't mind hitting that like button and maybe even giving me a subscribe. I am new to the whole YouTube everything. You know, trying to get into it. I've done YouTube in the past. It's just this time I want to, you know, kind of not so much doing this to make anything off of it. I'm just kind of doing it to hopefully help somebody that watches my videos, and kind of just, I'm bored. I don't really hang out with anybody outside of work. I do DoorDash 7 days a week, and I do eBay and Amazon 7 days a week. So at 6 a.m. I start my day, I do DoorDash, or not DoorDash, I do eBay, and that's about 2.5 hours. I will admit that, you know, I watch some like cartoons or something in the background. I'll like, you know, make breakfast or something like that. And then about 8:30 to sometimes at the latest, I'll start my day on DoorDash at like 12, depending on like how many orders I have to fulfill for eBay, or if I have to ship something out FBA. And then, you know, I don't need to make a ton on DoorDash. I do it 7 days a week just so I can spread out my eBay and Amazon stuff. It gives me more time in the long run, even though I am working 7 days a week. But yeah, like I said, guys, thanks for watching, and I will keep you guys posted.